Alright, hey guys, so I was really excited to make this video. I wanted to go over what was in my backstage bag for my show. I had some interesting things in there, and I wanted to share it, and I thought you guys would like to see it too. Luke is joining me
Hey guys.
for this video as well. This is our second time shooting it because I messed up the first one. So I might go through it pretty quickly, but yeah, so I'm going to go over my food first. The reason I eat the things that I did eat was because during peak week, you take away carbs, you take away some of your protein, things like that. You definitely get a lot thinner, and you get pretty flat in your stomach and things like that. So being on stage, you don't want to be completely flat because anybody can over diet or not eat and, you know, get a tiny waist and, you know, look really skinny, but it's not, you know, this is like a fitness show. It's about health, and that's not the way you're supposed to do things. And so it takes, you know, it takes the right diet and the right foods to, you know, for you to see definition and your abs and things like that. So that's what the judges are looking for. You don't want to be too flat on stage. So the things, I did get really flat towards the end of peak week, but then the day of the show, you put lots of carbs and stuff in your body.
She was popping.
So yeah, and it really did work. Like a lot of girls didn't eat anything besides like grilled chicken. Like 3 ounces of grilled chicken and no water was what one girl had told me she had. And you know, they did look really flat, and that's not the point. You want to look filled out and have definition and stuff. So I did eat a lot of crap the day of my show, and since I hadn't had that stuff in a while, it worked well with my body. My body got the extra nutrients, and it filled me out. So I will show you everything that I ate. Okay, so the first thing that I ate, I don't have it, but was breakfast. So I had my breakfast I wasn't supposed to go on stage till 1 o'clock, so I had breakfast about 9, and for breakfast I had pancakes with syrup and bacon and eggs. And yeah, and so everything I'm about to show you, this is everything I had before I went on stage at all. So I had that first. Like my first bite of pancakes, my stomach got super tight, and I was like, I thought it was gonna come back up, but no, it didn't. Just having carbs after not having them that past week, my body it reacted really weird for a second, but it was awesome to get to eat that. I didn't really see any change after I ate. My stomach it looked a little bit more filled out, but for the most part, I didn't feel like huge or anything like that. So I had that for breakfast. We got to the competition about 11. I didn't go on stage till 1. So I had, when I got to my trainer didn't come to the show until about 11, or about 12. I was supposed to go on at 1, but I didn't end up going on until like, there's a fly in here, like 2. So yeah, we had to wait a little bit. But the first thing I had, so he had me bring 2 shaker bottles. This is my favorite one. I want to show you guys it. It's like faded a lot, and so I'm sad, but it says True Athlete, and it's like aluminum and gold and awesome. And it's pretty big. It's bigger than my other ones. So in that I had, God, it got really dark. Sorry, it's kind of cloudy, so it's going to get like white and dark. Yeah, you can actually see him. He's really white. It doesn't help that white, but it's fine. So in that I had Gatorade and wine. In wine, there's a lot of carbs, so it helped bring out my veins, fill me out a little bit. Put glycerin in it as well, which is just something you cook with. I think it pulls out the water. I don't know 100%. I kind of forgot what he told me about that, but we just put a little bit of that in and then mixed Gatorade and wine, and I sipped on that throughout the day. It also does help with nerves, but you know, that's not the main purpose. But
to get turned.
I definitely needed it. Stupid fly. Sorry. So anyways, that was the first thing I had. Second thing he had me eat at about 11 was rice cakes, and with about this much, I have peanut butter too. I had about this much peanut butter on there and that exact same amount of fruit preserves, raspberry fruit preserves, which is just like jelly. It's a little bit better for you. It doesn't have as much sugar, but
it tastes better.
Yeah, it tastes a lot better. I'm obsessed with it. That's a new that's a new obsession I have as well.
Yeah.
So he had me have a rice cake with peanut butter and jelly or fruit preserves on it, and ate that. Felt good. My energy was up a little bit. Then he had me throughout the day eat Rice Krispie treats, which that was so awesome. But so I had probably, how many are in a box? I think I had 3 by the time the show was over. I had 5 Rice Krispie treats before I went on stage and each one had I think I had one that didn't have anything on it, and then the other ones had peanut butter and fruit preserves. And a lot of girls were over dieting. One girl told me the only thing she ate that day was 3 ounces of chicken and no water. And, yeah, you don't want that. So, if you do your peak week right, this food that I had, it will work really well with you, with your body. So, yeah, you always want to follow peak week because these things aren't going to work the way they're supposed to if you don't follow your diet the week before. So I got to eat that. After like 2, I really didn't want any more. I was like so full, and he just kept making me eat them, and all these girls were staring at me like, why are you eating that before you go on stage? But like after I ate it, I saw my abs more, my veins were popping more, things like that. So
if I eat one now, you think it'll make me pop? You
know what, probably. We could try. We could use it as an excuse to eat one. Yeah. But yeah, so that was that. Another thing, a lot of girls, so backstage you warm up, so you kind of just get a little pump in. You don't want to do anything too big. They have weights back there, but everybody wants to use them, so it's really hard to get a hold of them. My trainer just brought a band, and I just kind of like did really small warm-ups with it. Well, I was eating Rice Krispie treats. So I had a Rice Krispie treat in one hand, and I was like doing band work with the other. A lot of girls were like trying to get a huge pump in before we went on stage, and my trainer was telling me, if it didn't happen with the 6 months of prep you did, it's not going to happen 5 minutes before you get on stage. So it really is kind of pointless to do, but you do want, to look a bit more vascular. So I did bring a band and just get a quick pump, and then backstage, when you're in your line to go on stage, I didn't have weights or band or anything, but you kind of just do this with your arms, get your blood flowing here, bring out a little vascularity, your muscle a little bit, and then do push-downs, tricep push-downs. And
she was popping on stage. Like, she was...
It was weird, because I don't usually look that vascular, but... and then just doing push-downs with no weight, just kind of doing it, and just keeping your arms tight. That brought out a lot of definition as well. So... that's what I did before I got on stage. I want to go over, let's see. Oh, putting on my suit and everything like that. So you get your spray tan the night before. I got it after our meeting, so it was like 11 o'clock at night. And then the next morning, they put on the base coat. Then the next morning you get the really dark spray tan. And I did that at like 9 in the morning. So I had that. I showed you guys my suit already, but I'll just kind of give you guys a glimpse if you didn't watch my peak week video. Yeah, I'm not going to show you the whole thing and really get it out. No. Yeah, that was my suit. So I put that on. You don't want to put it on before your spray tan because you don't want to ruin your suit. You can't get this tan off once it's on your suit. So you have to be really careful. Have my numbers. It's 171. You don't want to forget your number, because I did, and I forgot my backstage pass for my trainer, which he told me not to forget, and I did. So it was like I was freaking out because I was already at the show. It was like 12 o'clock. I was supposed to go on at 1, and I didn't have my number, and I didn't have my backstage pass for my trainer. So, yeah, you can only imagine it was pretty hectic. So, luckily I had my little team, so my boyfriend and then my parents, and my mom found my number and my backstage pass, which I already bought another one after she'd found it, so whatever. So at least I found it. So I found my numbers and I found that, so everything was fine. Just not how I wish it would have gone, just because it added a lot of stress, and it kind of just made me freak out the rest of the day. But, so I had that, and then after I put my suit on, I didn't put it on until, like, 45 minutes before I was supposed to go on stage because they are super fragile. You can't wear them that long. Just because the way they're made, they break so easily, and they're just made so tight that you don't want to do anything to risk to break it. Yeah, so then my jewelry, I'll show you guys because this wasn't in my Peak Week video, but this was one of my bracelets I had. That went on one arm, and then I put this on the other. If you can see it, yeah. And then these are my earrings. Luke bought them for me, so he was really sweet for that, but I loved these. Oh, you can actually see them. They're Givenchy. I love them. They're so pretty. They really, like, stood out on stage. And then this was the ring that I had to go with my suit as well. So that was all my jewelry I wore. I kind of just...
She was looking hot.
Yeah, since I am just made so, like, tiny, like, I'm just little, that I didn't want big jewelry, you know, to, like, I don't want to be drowning in jewelry, so I kept it simple, kept everything mostly small except for my big bracelet, and I think I liked it a lot better like that, because you weren't completely focused on, it wasn't overwhelming.
Yeah. She looked classy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, that was that as far as my food and my jewelry, my suit. I already showed you guys my heels in my Peak Week video. They did get, like, spray tan stuff on them, so, yeah, I need to get them, like, clean somehow. I also had my dandelion root in my bag. I talked about that in Peak Week video. I had this. Huh? No, I will get there.
Oh.
I had my dandelion root in there. Just pull out any extra water I had that I needed to get out for the show. Which it wasn't really needed that much because, you know, it's the day of the show. You weren't going to see a huge change, but still brought it. Then I had a smaller bag, and it had, where is it? Oh, right here. So I had carpet glue in there. Basically, with carpet glue, you glue it to your skin, like you put it on your suit and then you stick it to your body because you don't want your suit to be sliding everywhere. It's supposed to sit perfectly on your body, and one of their big rules is you can't have like a thong on stage, and since the bottoms are made so small, a lot of the times they'll, like, you know, slide up your butt crack or something, and yeah, you definitely don't want that because they will kick you off stage if it looks like a thong. So you want to make sure that your suit is, like, glued to your skin. And so I had to use carpet glue for it. It does rip off your skin, but it didn't really rip off mine because my spray tan, I just had so much spray tan on me, and then I had oil and everything on me as well. So it did stick really well, but it didn't rip off anything. Thank God. So I had that, glued my suit down. I had some other glue. This was just for in case, and then I had stones with some toothpicks in there, just in case any stone were to fall off of my suit, because they're made, they are really fragile, so in case anything fell off, I could just fix it really fast. It dries in like 5 seconds. I could glue stones back on. Let's see. I brought an extra band for stretching in case I needed it, which I didn't end up needing it. My trainer brought one, and that was enough. So I had that, but I brought that one just in case. Popsicle sticks. This was for gluing or putting the carpet glue on my suit. And then I had this. I think I showed this in my Peak Week video, but I'm not 100%. I had this hot stuff. What it does is it gives you just vascularity. It smells really minty. Everybody kept asking, like, oh, it smells good. Like, what's that minty smell? And I was just kind of, I was like, not me. Yeah, so I put this on. It works. I loved it. It made me, so it has, like, oil in it, too. So you get, like,
I want to use it at the gym.
Yeah, I saw some guy who did that, but don't do that because you'll smell like mints.
I'll smell hot.
But yeah,
Hot stuff.
But yeah, so it did work. It made me really vascular. And the oil definitely helped too. Made me shine. But the only problem I did have with this, which wasn't a huge deal at all, but just spraying it on everywhere. I did wear my hair straight, so this wasn't a huge issue, but it did get on my hair. And then when you are doing your poses on stage, you try and move your hair to the side and stuff so you can see your back. And just moving my hair around and stuff with it on my hand, with the oil on my hands, it did kind of give me oily hair throughout the day. But it didn't really get too bad until like almost the show was over, so it wasn't a big deal. And since my hair was straight and I didn't have like curls or anything, it wasn't like my curls were falling and whatever. So luckily,
she looked really, really good, guys. Like, she looks so good.
Yeah, and we'll post my stage shots when we get them, but we're still waiting for those. So they should be in soon. But and then I had, I'm going to show this. I had so this is like pillow stuffing, like whatever, and this like goes inside of your suit, just because with bikini, a lot of girls have boob jobs and things like that.
And she doesn't have a boob
and
job.
I don't. So this goes, the girl who made my suit, she calls it a $5 boob job. So basically, you put this in your suit as much as you think you need, and it just kind of makes your boobs look a little bit bigger than they are. So kept that in there. I used a little bit of it, but not too much. I think that was everything as far as my backstage bag went. And then just like I had my hair stuff and my makeup, and I wore like fake eyelashes, whatever. Oh man, I need one. Sorry, I just found something I really needed. Boob tape in case I needed that, but I didn't end up needing it. Yeah, I think that was everything. Mm-hmm. So that was like the necessities I needed. So, so now I'll go over like how I placed in the competition. Posted about it a little bit in my Instagram, Facebook, whatever, but I'll kind of just talk about it and go over everything. So I got 2 trophies and a medal.
Oh yeah, I have the medal on.
You can keep it on your way.
My bad.
So this was a medal. This was for the Open. So this was my 4th place.
Yes.
I was in 3 classes, and I placed in every single one. Top 5 place, but there are a lot of girls, so I'm happy with how I did.
Real quick, it was funny though because her number is so high. She was always called last.
Yeah, my number was, all the girls are like in the 50s and 60s, so anytime they called out the top 5, I would always be the last one to get called, and it freaked me out because I never knew, like, you'd have to get to the 5th person before I knew if I placed, and so I was just like, it was so nerve-wracking, but yeah. So this was for, what was this for? This was my novice trophy. As you can see, this lady has no clothes on. And then this lady has a bikini on, so a little bit better. And this was my 1st place teen trophy. So, yeah.
That one's like, the teen's not even covered at all, but the novice is covered.
Barely. Her hair and her rope sash
Yeah.
thing. So I'll go over novice because I really enjoyed doing the novice. This one was my favorite. Novice is kind of just like beginners, I guess, amateurs, people who don't have their pro card. So in novice, I got 2nd, and the girl who got 1st is actually a MP.
She's a winner.
She's actually, I look so stupid. She's actually a NPC, which NAN, BF, and NPC are a little bit different, but she does NPC, and she's done shows for 6 years, over 15 shows, but this was her first NAN, BF show, so she did get to compete as an amateur. This is heavy. So, she's the one who placed 1st, but, of course anybody wants to win 1st, but not winning 1st to her, I felt okay with it. I was still really happy with how I did. Being on stage with her was awesome. She knew what she was doing. She did a really good job. So I liked being up next to her just because competing with people who are so experienced, like, it's kind of like an honor to get to be up there with them. And it kind of got to challenge me a little bit. So I enjoyed that, and getting second compared to somebody who's done shows for 6 years was definitely not a loss at all. I was so proud of how I did. She looked great as well. Everybody is so encouraging. I was afraid girls would be mean and things like that, but everybody's so nice, so encouraging. Everybody, all the girls know how hard everybody has to work to get there, and so everybody's just supportive. Every time someone comes off stage with an award, everybody congratulates them, and there's people crying when they get off stage, and it's a really cool thing to see. Well, not crying because they lost, but like crying just because, you know, they got something out of all the months of hard work they did. So that was really awesome to get to see happen, because it's not something you see on the other side of the stage in the audience. So I did enjoy that. It did make me a little emotional because you're just really happy for people. So that's what I did. And then 4th place in the Open is really good as well. The Open isn't with just novice, so I think there was like 20-something girls in that class, and I got 4th out of them, so I was super happy with that as well. I had a judge come up to me after the show, and I didn't know who he was, and he just said, "I want you to know, like, I'm so pissed." He was like, "I think you should have won first in everything," and he just started talking to me about how my genetics are really good for, you know, competing and doing shows, and I'm so young and I need to stick with it. And he was like, if it would have been my choice, you know, you would have walked out, you would have won this whole thing. And he was like, I have so much faith in you, don't give up on this. You know, you're going to go places with this if you stick with it. So hearing that, just, you know, he got a little emotional, then I got a little emotional by it. So it's just really cool to have, like, he was so passionate telling me how good he thought I was. So hearing that is just really motivated me to want to do better and keep doing what I am. So yeah, all in all, the show went really well, and I'm super happy with how I placed for my first show, and everything went really good besides it being stressful. So yeah, I'm glad I got to show you guys my stuff, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos because we'll be making a lot more of them. So yeah, peace out.